are here for Support Force Live, brought to you by Taurus and QP. I am QP. I am the super here in Support Force. I am community based, and I try and be the front of the house and show everybody what we're all about.
And I'm Taurus. I am also a superhero. I know he said the super, but we are the supers of Support Force. And we just kind of hang out with the staff team and make sure everything's running smoothly for you guys so we can have awesome events like this. So we're really excited to be here.
Yep. So we have the privilege tonight of being able to talk to one of our highly supportive members who has been voted by the staff team as our featured creator. What is a featured creator, you ask? Here in Support Force, after you reach level 20, you are able to be thrown into the mix for our featured creator. And what that entails is you get your own channel in the server to post whatever you want when you're going live, funny facts about yourself. You also get blasted all over our official Support Force social media pages. And all of the
A lot of social
experience,
media
yeah, it's a
pages.
lot of social media pages. And when people come out and support you, they gain a 25% extra boost. So you kind of a little bit more incentive to come out and support you. Um, so without further ado, let's introduce our featured creator, ValisaAthena. Woo!
Hi. What am I
Everyone
saying?
give a round of applause.
Round of applause. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Of
Definitely a
course.
privilege.
Yeah, it's our
We're
pleasure.
happy to have you.
Definitely.
We look forward to Wednesday nights just to get to know you guys better.
Definitely. For those who don't know me, I am Valissa. I also go by Val. I do stream a variety of games. Whether it's a lot of it's been Dead by Daylight lately. I've been playing some Minecraft, Borderlands, World of Warcraft. I'm getting ready to start up a Sims
Yeah.
series.
Nice.
So just a whole bunch of different games. I do still have half of an Outlast stream to do, so that's coming back up soon.
Oh, you got halfway through it?
Yeah, I got 4 hours into that 8 hour stream, and then I had to take a break because my shoulder was just cramping so bad, so I stopped for a while. And then went to go back, and OBS was just like, all these scenes that you have, they don't exist. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
Oh no.
So I
That
wasn't
is
able
the
to finish
worst.
that day.
OBS can be finicky sometimes. I know I have a problem with recording on my OBS. It's the worst. I tried reinstalling it. It just records in 1 second clips. I can't get anything longer. But so you talked about all the games that you play.
Mhm.
And I've been privy to some of them. You seem like you have a very fun time playing them. So
Most of them.
what got you into gaming initially? Like what brought you towards the scene?
I've always done games. I first started playing on a PS2. That was the first thing I played, which was actually the first thing
Nice.
I really ever played was Spyro, which per request
Yeah.
I am wearing the Spyro onesie.
Love it.
Um but that was one of the first games that I played. I used to also watch my dad play World of Warcraft, so whenever he deemed I was old enough to be able to play it, he let me have a character on his account, and then it just kind of took off from there. And then just I've been gaming basically my entire life. So, and then I didn't start streaming until about 9 months ago. So,
Awesome. What
Oh,
made
so
you
you
decide to start streaming?
actually Phoenix did. He was one of my big pushers to start doing it. It was something that I was always interested in. Like I wanted to do the YouTube thing and all of that. Still need to start up YouTube, um, but that was one of the things like I've always been interested in doing. And due to my previous relationship that I was in, he was not very supportive of that. He was kind of a possessive person, so me being out there like that, he didn't like that. So once that
Oh
kind of
wow.
it kind of ended basically for the better.
Hey, when one door closes, many more open for you.
Exactly.
Yep. I'm going through a similar situation right now, but we're gonna spare the details.
Time for another story.
Yeah, yeah. Love the Spyro onesie. Love it.
The only thing I wish, so like on the picture that I had ordered, like the actual nose of him was a little different. So like this, there were two different ones I was looking at, and this was like it was the cheaper one. So I went with the other one instead, and then I still got this one, and I was like, come on, like
Yeah.
really?
It's so cute though.
It is cute. Like the different
It's so
makes
cute.
it. Like I love it.
I think it's a
So how
great
many
addition.
onesies do you have? Because
I believe I currently have 5 altogether. I know we were talking about this. So I have the Spyro, I have a bunny onesie, Pikachu, Spyro, I already said Spyro, Stitch, and then I have a cat onesie that doesn't fit anymore, so I don't count that one.
what got you into buying these onesies?
I've just always been a onesies person. Like,
Yeah.
I do a lot of anime cons too, so like that's another thing that you see a lot around there is people running around in the onesies. So that kind of got me back into them, wanting to get them and stuff. It's just if you buy them at cons, they're so expensive. Like it's almost $90 for one.
Oh geez. So are you a cosplayer?
I do.
Does that count as cosplay?
Technically, yes, because you are still kind of going into a different character and different state of mind.
That makes sense.
But I do other cosplays. Like I do a Harley Quinn cosplay is usually the one I do at cons, and it's the Arkham City style. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's
I
a good
have
one.
a pop up.
Nice.
But I do that one. That was actually going to be I was going to do that tonight, but I think I'm going to push it till tomorrow. Just because I kind of spaced out about the podcast, to be honest. So I'll just do that either tomorrow or Friday. Hi Elmo, I see you in chat. But yeah, so I do that, and then I just got the Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn cosplay. So I'll be doing that, and then I did the Broken Doll cosplay on Monday.
That's so fun. I've always wanted to get into cosplay, but I just feel like that's so much time.
It can be depending on how you get into it. So if you're
Yeah.
kind of that person who are like, oh, I'm gonna make all of my cosplays and all of that, then yes, it would be more time consuming. Whereas like all of mine have been store bought. Most of mine are Halloween costumes, so it's like it's kind of easier just to get into it.
Right. That makes sense.
Like I think.
But I always say kudos to everyone that actually takes the time to do it. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
seriously.
It's
I
so
think
crazy.
my first cosplay I ever did was a Sims. I just went and kind of put on an outfit and printed out the little diamond and put it on a headband, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
You did it though.
Exactly, I did it. I can't say that I didn't do it.
Oh, QP's pulling something up here.
Yeah, we just got something. Got something in the
Oh, we can
chat.
see it in the chat. We can
I
see it in
can't
the
read
chat.
it. Was it-
Wolf's Realm just tipped $5.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
man.
appreciate that.
Do we have
Wolf.
alerts on?
Yes, they are on. That's what
Okay.
made me hear it, but I didn't have the I didn't have it up so that I couldn't read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By
Thank
the way,
you
Shout
so
out
much,
to
Wolf.
Wolf's Realm.
Whoop whoop. Just in case you guys notice, I do look down a lot. I do have a cat in my lap right now, so I'm trying to make sure she's comfy.
The illustrious cat that you
Cat aggro.
yeah, that you
Yeah.
feed with treats from stuff on your
Yeah.
That's awesome.
One of the 3.
That's cool.
You have 3 cats?
I have 3 cats. I have 3 cats, and then my parents have 2 dogs.
Oh wow, lots of pets.
So we
Full
have
house.
Full house, yes.
Good,
Oh my
keeps
gosh,
you
I
busy
don't know
though.
if I could do that. I have 1 cat and I feel like he takes up all my attention. He's an only child.
That's the way the one I have in my lap now, Totter. She's my eldest. She is she in April turned 19 years old.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah. So
That's
the way
awesome.
She is. She's very lovey, very cuddly, wanting all of the attention.
Of
And
course,
then
like a firstborn.
exactly. And then the one that I like to call my middle child basically is Pepper, who's actually laying on the futon that I moved into my room today. And she is 9 years old. And then I have Spotify, which is my youngest. He is 8-year-old.
Wow.
Spotify. So is he a
Spotify.
singer?
He likes to
Does he
be.
talk
He
a
likes to
lot?
be vocal, yes. Definitely.
That's funny.
That is so funny.
I was originally gonna name him Spot just because he has like a white spot on his chest, so it was gonna be kind of like that unoriginal name. But my mom was like, "No, let's fancify it. Let's do Spotify." I was like, "Okay."
Hey, whatever works, right? That's awesome. So speaking of animals, why don't we just jump right into this question? I know that Rabble
my gosh.
will ask it eventually, so let's just jump the gun here. One animal that you had to be, and why?
Oh, an animal I would be definitely a cat because cats have their life made. Like you just get to sleep all day, you get fed.
Yep.
The most famous saying for a cat is cats don't have owners, they have caretakers, they have staff members. So definitely a cat.
They
Yeah.
have staff members. Oh, I love
That's
that.
great. That's awesome.
I've never heard that before. I've always heard the one, people don't have cats, cats have humans.
That too, yeah.
Yep.
But definitely
So
cats are definitely one of the few animals that actually you think that you go and pick them. No, they pick you.
Yeah, because you could pick
I
one
love
and it
that.
could hate you still.
Exactly.
And that thing will attack you for its whole life.
I mean,
Just like,
I've
you
seen
are
it
not my
happen,
person.
too.
I've had
I've
one of
seen-
those. I was the only one that could pick up my old cat, and anybody else that tried to touch her, she would attack. So I saw that firsthand.
Cats are so sassy. I love them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we got that one out of the way. Is Rob on the chat? Yeah, he's in the chat. Okay, so
course
he
he
heard
is.
your answer.
Yep.
He heard your answer.
I saw him in there earlier, so I had to throw that question out there since we were talking about animals anyways.
Just get it out there.
Yeah. Get it right out of the way.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So you said you just started streaming 9 months ago. What advice would you give to streamers who are just starting out? What kind of like trials and errors have you gone through?
Definitely do what you want to do. Don't go into chat and be like, oh well, I could do this and I could do that, or I could do this, I could do that, and then just kind of give them the option, because then you're gonna end up doing something that you don't want to do. So if you're like, you know what, I'm in the mood to play Minecraft today, play Minecraft. If you want to stream it, cool. If not, that's cool too. Don't feel like you have to do something. Do it because you want to do it.
Great advice.
Yeah.
There are some
Yeah,
days
you hear that quite a bit.
Yeah, there are some days that, you know, all of us, I'm sure, some days you just don't feel up to it. You just feel like gaming. You don't have to. If you feel like streaming, then stream. Whatever game you want to play, play it.
Definitely.
Just got to be yourself 100% of the time. That's a huge, that's great advice for somebody just starting out.
I love that.
I know in the beginning, I did the same thing. I streamed a game that was dying. I played PUBG for the first probably 8 months of my streaming, and it was a dead game already. And I still streamed it because it was just the game I enjoyed. I still love it. I haven't played it so long. I still love it. But that's some great advice.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing to do. Is it doesn't matter if that channel is dying or whatever. Just if you enjoy it, do it.
Because that's the thing that I think people don't realize is, sure, whatever game you're playing might be what draws people to your stream initially, but your personality and your vibe and your energy is what's going to make them keep coming back. And if you're
Yep.
playing a game you don't enjoy, they're going to know, and they're going to be bored out of their mind, and they're not going to come back, even though you're playing the game that they were originally looking for.
Yeah.
So yes, it is really
I
good
know that's
advice.
one of the things that I do. Is like, oh, look, this person's playing this. Let me pop in there real quick, and like you can tell off their energy, like, oh, we're doing this and this, and it's like, I don't. There's no energy in it. That I don't want to watch something that doesn't have energy.
Not worth it.
It is not worth it.
So
we have a question from Marina in the chat. We see a bunch of those Funko Pops back there in your background.
Yes,
She wants to know how many you have.
Oh geez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
just counting.
13,
Love it.
14, 16. I have 17 altogether, and then on like this bottom shelf here is like a random of action figures. I've got a Litten, a Qfig of Jessica Jones, a Qfig of Rocket and Groot, Wolverine, and then a Harley Quinn figurine.
Wolverine. I love X-Men.
Lots of them. Definitely lots of them. And I do have on my channel, for my streams, a channel point rewards where it's actually, you can click it and I actually pull one down and show it close up to the camera.
Make sure you guys are all gaining those points tonight after this podcast, so you can see some of her Funko Pops.
It's also one of her channel points to get her to put on one of her famous onesies, and that's how I learned about them.
Yeah, and Spyro was actually one of them. I'm probably gonna add the Pikachu one on there and dig him out of the closet, because he's still kind of chilling in there.
Great. We had another question from Marina earlier. I want to get to it before we lose it. Which of your onesies is your favorite?
Stitch, definitely.
How come? Just your favorite character, or?
Yeah, he's just one of my favorite Disney characters that you don't see a lot of love for anything that's not like Lion King or like one of the big main movies. I don't see
Yeah,
Lilo and Stitch as one
the
of the big main
classics.
movies. Exactly. And I also have like 6 Stitch stuffies, so it's like he's kind of my favorite.
He's a cute little fella.
Yeah, he is. I
He
like
definitely
how
has his own personality.
yeah, I was gonna say I like how he like acts. Great. So rambunctious and
He's a little stinker.
yeah, yeah. Another question in chat before it goes away. Rabble wants to know, what is the long-term goal beyond partnership, all that stuff? What's the ultimate goal that you want to get out of streaming?
Um, I just want to. I really don't have a long term. I just kind of. I'm doing it to share the love of games. I'm just kind of here to help maybe test games that people are kind of sitting there and thinking, do I want to get this? Do I not want to get it? Because that's kind of with Outlast. Like, yes, it terrifies me to play it like by myself. But I did watch a playthrough of it, and it was something that I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play this. So that's why I had gotten it. And then just played 5 minutes of it, and I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Um,
Yeah, it's a creepy one.
yeah, but definitely, I don't really have a long term goal. It's just I do it to show my love for the games and to kind of maybe help people be like, oh, do I want to play this like Dead by Daylight? Yes, there's a lot of bugs in the game, but it's known to be a very buggy game to begin with. But it helps people be like, you know what, this looks like it could be fun. So that's really my goal, is just to kind of help people find their love for games.
I call that riding by the seat of your pants.
Exactly.
You're just along for the ride.
Like I said, I did say this whenever I was told about and kind of shared with chat that I was elected that the feature creator was. I didn't ever think of being where I am at today, where I am affiliate. I have, I think it's like 38 subs now. Like, I didn't ever plan to be here. I kind of started it out and was like, oh, we'll see how it goes. If I get there, I get there. If not, it's whatever. I have a computer now. I can play games with friends, and so if this doesn't work out, it's not a big loss. But the fact that I'm where I'm at today blows my mind.
That's awesome. That's an accomplishment in and of itself, because you
Yeah.
weren't even trying.
No.
And it happened.
I'll tell you what.
Phoenix was just like, hey, come check out this channel, this group that I'm in, and I'm like, okay, cool. All right. Came in and just found all of the love and all of the support, and I'm thankful for everybody in Subforce, definitely.
Huge love for Subforce, man.
Well, that kind of leads us into a question from Panic. He would like to know, what is your favorite part of Support Force, and why have you decided to stay with the community once you joined us?
I think my favorite thing about Support Force is just all of the support. It's not, you don't sit there and see somebody just going and supporting the same people over and over and over and over again. You actually go out, and you support a little here, and you support a little there, and you support a little here. And it goes all around. It's not just to the same people over and over and over like you will see in most communities. And I think that's the reason why I've stayed so long, is because you do see that. It's not, we're gonna make this one person blow up and then nothing else for anybody else.
We want to make Support Force. Every single
Yeah.
person in this community deserves all the support that we can. And I personally have been watching your, rise to fame, so to speak, from when you started. I remember when you joined in the beginning, and to see your growth is amazing, and it's definitely
Definitely.
kudos to you for
Thank
sticking
you.
to it and doing
It's
what
something
you
to be
do
proud
well.
of, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, and definitely I have been. And like, whenever like I was told that night, and I was just like, I was sitting there, I was like, can I tell anybody? I don't know. Can Phoenix?
That was a fun night for
Yeah,
us
you got the
to
okay.
watch.
You got the okay.
That was a
from
fun
us.
night for us to be a part of with you. We had just gotten near the end of our staff meeting that we have in Zoom every week, and we had just got done talking about who our new feature creator is, and you were live at the time, and then one of the staff members was like, "Can I tell her?" We're like, "Well, what do we do?"
And then they came
We've
in.
never been asked that.
They came in and they were like, "Can she tell everybody?"
Because I went and I asked, I was like, I don't I don't want to say anything like before you guys had
Right.
announced it, and ended up like blowing the whole thing. So I was like, I know I could trust Phoenix not to go in and be like, oh yay and everything. So I was like, I know I could at least tell him if I go into a secret call, which was fine. Like that wasn't a big deal. I was just like, I
It
just
was a great
tell
time.
You're like really excited, and you're like, I just want to tell
Exactly.
everybody. That's great. You know, that's also a big reason why we picked you for feature creator, because we see your passion, we see, you know, all the support that you give out to everybody, and we just wanted to, you know, give it where it's deserved. And
Yep.
we came in, and before you were even officially announced, we got that level 5 hype train. That was a
Yeah.
fun time.
That was
fun.
amazing.
I was just like, I
We
didn't know
broke
what to
you.
do. Yeah, you literally. And it was funny because literally the night before, Phoenix and one of my other streamers, one of my other viewers, David, they were going back and forth and having a cheer war between each other. So I had broken my goal yesterday, the day before, for that first cosplay stream or the second cosplay stream. So then whenever everybody came in the next day and did all of that, it was mind blowing seeing having it back to back.
It was hilarious too because at the time when we all joined your stream, you were playing D&D, and it was so funny because we could all hear Phoenix in the background, like trying to keep the game going.
Yeah.
And you're just over here like, she's got to be muted, and she's like not even paying attention to the game, and we're like blowing up all your alerts. It's like here's Phoenix in the background, keeping things going along.
Yeah, and I
It
mean, I
was a
told
great
him, like,
source of
I had to be
entertainment.
muted at one point. I was like, I'm just gonna be muted because like I couldn't hear anything anyway because my alerts are so loud on my side. So it's just like I couldn't hear him at all. I would hear like the voice ever so often saying anything. I was like, I can't hear you guys, just so you know. So once
That
all
was
this is done,
part of
then
the
I'll come
fun.
back in.
It
That's
was.
part of the
We were
fun.
definitely at that point we were doing it on purpose. We were
Yeah.
waiting for an alert to be dead so we could set off another one.
Well, I got another 500 biddies so I could do some of those voice alerts that you have.
Yes.
Great.
I definitely put those on there because I definitely have a lot of fun with them. I actually found them through Phoenix because he had them first, and then I was like, I need them now. Like
Yeah.
they're great.
They're just too much fun. You can't not
They are,
have them.
and it comes in great time. Like if you're playing, I've had David again. He's set off a few of them when I'm doing Dead by Daylight. Like the mission failed once, and it's just like, you're not wrong. Like.
So speaking of D&D, you were streaming D&D when we announced to you that you were a feature creator. I am an avid D&Der myself. I highly enjoy that game, and I would play it every single day if I could. It's just too time consuming.
Yes.
But so what? First off, what drew you towards D&D? What do you like so much about it?
I don't know really what drew me in. I think it was just the fact that I had never played it or anything, and I heard it from other friends. But I could never find a group who was willing to teach me how to play because I had never played before. This is actually my second campaign ever.
The
So
tough learning curve.
yes. So there was nobody to ever to teach me. So I was like, okay. And then Phoenix was like, hey, I'm putting together a campaign. Do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, well, you're gonna have to teach me like as we're going. And he goes, not an issue. We got you. We're good. I was like, all right, cool. So he helped me set up my character and everything. And I had played a elf ranger for that one, and I had a blast for it. Unfortunately, the campaign fell through, so it didn't get completed. And then we found in the group that we're in now, with me, Phoenix, Dragon Sanctuary, who I saw in chat earlier, and then Eclipse is in it, and one of our other friends.
Oh, you got Eclipse playing in there too?
Yeah, Eclipse is in it.
Ah.
So we're all in it together, and this time I'm playing a human warlock, and it's so much fun, and I love the character and how she's come to play
Spellcasters are
out.
fun, aren't they?
Yes. Well, and the
Nothing
thing
better.
with mine, she has a Cthulhu deity, and she was a little underpowered to begin with, and so
Did you roll bad?
yeah, so then we went and we fused my character with my deity, so now she's kind of a little overpowered in my opinion, but it's all good. I try to balance it out and not use it too much, so.
Yeah, I played my favorite character to date. I've been in 2 full campaigns, and I'm working on a 3rd one right now. I'm actually hopefully gonna DM it.
Okay.
So fingers crossed.
Cool.
Definitely.
But yeah, that'll be on stream eventually. But my favorite character that I've ever played was I was a high elf wizard,
Okay.
and she was so fun to play.
Yeah.
I was what was it? Chaotic good.
Yeah,
So like,
I'm currently the only chaotic evil character, like evil at
oh
all
boy.
in our
I mean, you're a
campaign right
warlock.
now.
Of course, you're
Exactly.
chaotic evil, and you worship Cthulhu. Come on now.
Exactly. Well, when it started out, we were our entire group was we only had one good character, and all of the rest were evil. And then the other characters didn't die off, but we kind of phased them out, and they came in with new characters. And now I'm the only evil character in our group, and I'm like, now I can't do like the fun things about being like, no, you can't do this. But why?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much fun to get into and kind of, have not like an out of body experience, but be able to put yourself into another character
Mhm.
and transform yourself for however many hours you're in that game,
Yeah.
into that new character, the new mindset. I for one, I'm not really good at trying to be some like character that I'm not in real life,
Mhm.
but I found it to be fun, but
Yeah.
not as fun as bringing my personality into the character and really just throwing it out there and going over the top with it. So,
D&T amateur acting.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
definitely. D&D is a good way to kind of start getting into the cosplay scene as well, because that's what a lot of people do is they take their D&D characters that they make and they make it into their cosplay.
Don't ask me to be my character, please. I'm not gonna
Come on,
dress
Kiki.
up. I'm not gonna dress up in a girl's mage robe with a crown and no, that ain't happening.
Do it, Qp.
I'd have to grow my hair out for about 6 years first.
You can wear a wig.
Yes.
Or get extensions, there's things, there's ways.
So bouncing off.
Um,
Oh, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
you go. You go.
Well, I was gonna read. So Dark Alpha has a question in the chat for Val. This is a standard question. If you could travel one more time, which country would it be? Oh, if you could only travel one more time, which country would it be?
Oof. Probably Greece.
You won.
Nice.
I would go to Greece because I've always been interested in their culture and their history. I'm very into like the Greek gods and stuff like that. So to be able to go there and see like where it all originated from and all of that would be awesome.
That's so cool. I've never met anyone with that answer before, and I would have the same answer. I'm also super into Greek mythology. All my pets, all my animals are Greek mythology names. I have a German
Great.
Shepherd named Athena. My cat is Perseus, and I have 2 bunnies named Nyx and Artemis.
That's great. That's great.
Like all my animals have always been. I used to have a dog named Poseidon. It's great.
That's awesome. So, who is your favorite of the Greek gods?
Good question.
I mean, I feel like my name should kind of give that one away.
That's kind of why I asked it.
Like,
That's kind of why I asked it.
Definitely Athena, just because she does have that
Such a
the
badass.
wisdom behind it, and like she's awesome throughout all
Yes.
of the mythology and everything.
Yeah, every story you hear about her.
Yep.
Such a badass.
Yes. I agree. I concur.
I concur that statement.
Okay, I have a really weird question that I've never asked anyone else this on the podcast before. If
First.
you were the last woman on Earth on an island with a celebrity, who would you want that celebrity to be?
Oh God. There's so many.
Please say Qpkellz. Please say no.
Oh my god.
Like based off of celebrities now, probably Ryan Reynolds, to be honest. Had you asked me that like a few years ago, probably would have been Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
Good choices.
Both solid answers.
As a man who is comfortable with myself, those are some good choices.
You worded that perfectly.
Oh
Yeah,
dang!
yep.
Makeup calling you out on not being a celebrity.
I know, Marina. That's why I was just kidding, okay? I know I'm not a celebrity yet.
Dang, Marina. Harsh truth.
That's what I love Marina for, though. She gives it to you like it is. Every time.
Oh man.
So we'll just take Madly's question right now because it goes with what we were talking about a little bit ago. If it hasn't been asked yet, Horde or Alliance?
Okay, so I'm actually a split team, because my main that I play is Alliance. I do like the storyline of Alliance better, but I am currently the main character that I've been playing on stream has been a Horde character just because I am trying to get the Fox allied race because it's super cute. But I guess the
Well,
answer to the question is Alliance.
I'm just gonna head out now. See y'all later. QP, you got the rest of this.
Yeah, we'll be good.
But I will say my first character was Horde, so I did play the Horde storyline all together, and then I was like, yeah, let's play Alliance and see what happens.
So just so you know, I mean, I'm not sure how far into the rep you are in getting that allied character, but as soon as Shadowlands comes out, they're giving all allied races to everyone. You don't have to grind for it anymore, and
I haven't
Shadowlands is
touched it in a while, so I'm kind of glad you told me that.
yeah.
But
Just thought I would give you that because I just
this
found that out
far
a couple days ago.
into the revered, so it's like,
Oh, that's pretty good.
yeah, I'm almost there, but
Yeah.
I've burnt out on it because it's like you have to go and you have to constantly just keep doing the world quests and stuff like
Yep.
that, and it's just so hard to get that grind.
Yep. Thank God in Shadowlands they're taking that out.
Yes.
The aspect of the game is not going to be as grindy. The grind is going to be as grindy. But yes, as far as the allied races that are already out right now, currently, they're giving them all to everybody.
Sweet. This is probably because a lot of people were complaining about not being able to
I'm
get to them
sure.
so easily.
And they're also giving everyone flying again. Flying's going to go back to the way it used to be. You're not
Good.
going to have to get the achievement for it anymore.
Yeah, where you have to go and buy it instead.
Yep. Because I'm sure
I
you're
do hate
going to
that.
have to like level up to max level first, and then you can go
Yeah.
buy it from there.
Yeah, because I don't think I
We
have
can talk about
flying
that all
in
day. Someone asked a question.
Legion. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten flying since Pandaria. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't have in for any of like the newer expansions. I don't have flying for any of it.
You guys can keep
I
going.
don't.
I'm just
I
sitting
don't
over
have
here.
current. I don't have
He's
current
like, I'm
flying.
just done.
That seems super unfair to everyone who worked for it. Marina, welcome to everyone's complaints in the world that play this game. Yes. It does seem super unfair. But at the same time, it is what it is. Like some people are willing to put in all the work it takes to get flying because they have like first world problems, where they just can't fathom playing the game without the convenience of flying, whereas it's perfectly playable without flying. It's just quicker if you have flying. So it's like
I feel like
there's both sides to it.
of it's perfectly okay just to run around.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the game used to be when the game first came out. Flying didn't exist and everyone played it just fine.
Yeah.
They added it and it was cool.
Back when I used to play.
Well, hey, you could always play classic and play it that way still.
I actually got
Right.
classic and I got up to like level 17 and then I was like, do I really want to go to 20 and then buy it?
Well, it's like I started once they released Classic again. I went and I started playing it, and I was like, because I started playing right around Cataclysm, so I really didn't have any of like that first, like when it first came out or anything like that. So I started playing it from Classic, and I was like, I don't like this. I'm switching back.
You've been playing it a lot longer than I have, actually.
Yeah. I think I was watching with Lich, and then when Cat came out is when I started playing.
I played before there were any expansions. I sat outside GameStop and
So
waited.
you just played classic.
Yeah, I sat outside GameStop for the midnight release and I waited. I still have the original discs that I got it on.
Wow.
Play like that. 7 discs or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad has a whole bunch of the we usually whenever the new expansions come out, we usually get him the collector's boxes.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
he's gonna be
cool.
getting the collector's box for Shadow as well.
You did get him that?
We will be getting it here soon. I
That's
know it's still
awesome.
in pre-order right now, so. But yeah, excited for that.
The one for Legion was really cool. I got that one, and it came with all the music. Well, they always come with the music for the game, but that part I was really excited about.
Mhm.
The music in
Yeah.
that game is just
I think my
incredible.
favorite. Yeah, I think my favorite part about the collector's boxes is seeing like all of the art and like them showing you the breakdown of it. I think that's
Hmm.
my favorite part of it.
Like the beginning sketches, the concept
Yeah.
art and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, so cool.
I seen Dark had
Yeah.
another question.
All right.
I was just reading that.
Yeah. So, question: did any of us play Elder Scrolls Online?
Um, I played it shortly with Phoenix. I'm going to not lie, I do not like it. I have been spoiled with WoW because of the mini maps and most other games that have mini maps, where ESO does not have mini map. So I don't like the
It's all about the
whole
mini map.
Yeah,
the
I played
whole
it.
finding things.
I played it for like a week, and then
I've
I
never
was like,
played it.
eh. It's like WoW if WoW hasn't been out for 20 years.
Yeah.
It seems like a new WoW that just started. But I don't think it'll ever amount to what WoW can.
Don't get me
Interesting.
wrong, like I like the concept that ESO has. I just don't think that some of it has been executed as well as it could have been.
Well, they've been working on other stuff, so
Yeah.
it's tough when you're working on other stuff to create a whole brand new game that you've never even touched before.
Yeah.
Because they've never, I mean, you know, obviously their main game, or their main series, with the Elder Scrolls, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But to try and jump into the MMO
Mhm.
world out of nowhere,
Yeah.
you can see that they had a tough time doing it.
Yeah, and they kind of try to bring what they originally were doing into that, and it like I said, it's a great idea. I just think it was poorly executed.
Usually comes down to being rushed
Hmm.
when a video game comes out. You know, not what they said it would. We'll
Yeah.
call it. That usually amounts to it being rushed.
Yeah.
Which always is a bad thing. I'm the type of person that would rather, like with Cyberpunk, it's been pushed back like 4 times now.
Hmm.
I would rather a game be pushed back multiple times and get finished
Yeah.
and run correctly and have no bugs and have everything completed before it comes out. I would much rather that than have them release it 6 months ago during
Yeah.
Christmas and it be a broken game.
Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with Dead by Daylight, and with all of the bugs it has and everything. And it's just like they're just like, if they get fixed, they get fixed. If not, when we release this new batch, maybe it'll fix it. Maybe it'll bring 4 others. Who knows?
Well, I
That's
wonder if it's hard for them to have an incentive to put a rush on it. If I mean, people keep playing it,
yeah.
they know
Yeah.
about the bugs and they're playing it anyways. So are they
Yeah.
really, like
And I mean,
not benefiting from it?
most of the bugs anyway are very harmless in the gameplay anyway. It doesn't really affect the gameplay. It's more of like visual kind of stuff. Like one of the big ones that I've been noticing lately is whenever the killer goes and hooks you, you're like a mile off the hook. But it's still
Huh.
saying you're on it. And it's like, but to like other people who run up to unhook you, you're on the hook for all intents and purposes. They may not see the visual glitch, but you do. So it's just like,
So it's a
Weird.
client side
well then.
glitch.
So it's stuff that doesn't really affect the gameplay, so I think that's more of why they're like meh about it. If it was like a huge like issue, it would definitely be fixed faster.
That would bother me so bad. It's like you're constantly lagging even though you're not.
Yeah, and it at first started was like, oh okay, it was happening maybe like one in every 10 games, and now it's like every game you're a mile off the hook, and it's like, hmm, okay.
Well,
Funny.
it gives it some character then. Marina would like to know if you have any tattoos.
I do. I actually have 2 tattoos. I have one on my right thigh and one on my right shoulder. The one on my shoulder is a fairy tale emblem. And then the one on my thigh is a memoriam tattoo to my grandfather who passed away from a heat stroke.
Sorry to hear that.
It was back in 2012, so it's been some time, but was very close to him whenever I would go and visit family. He set aside the time for me and everything because I wasn't there. So all of my cousins and stuff live over by them, and so whenever we would come up to visit, he would be like, "Oh, okay, it's your time now. I don't see you often." So
Sounds like a great man.
yeah, I miss him every day, but there are times where I do feel him still with me. So to have that and be like, yes, that he's still a part of me, definitely makes me feel better about myself.
My
That's
only my only tattoo is for my grandmother. Similar situation. I lived with my
Mhm.
grandmother and my mom for a long time. My mom was working her tail off, so my grandmother helped raise me. Um, and I actually have about 75% of my back tattooed. It's
Yeah.
like a statue, like a Mother Mary statue.
Okay.
Um, of for my grandmother because she always had my back. So
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that because she always had your back. It's like symbolic,
I
or you
can't see it.
placed it.
I can't see it, but it's still I still love it.
Yeah, that's me with my fairy tale emblem. Like I can't see it because it's on my back, but it still holds true to me because of the reason I got it was because the meaning behind it for anybody who's
Right.
watched fairy tale would know, okay, yes, like she's there for others, like she'll do anything she can for others.
I've got to ask you, did the thigh tattoo hurt? Because I've been thinking about getting one there, and I've
Um,
heard
it varies from
mixed
person to
stories.
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
it hurt a whole bunch. Like my shoulder one, where they say is like one of the worst ones to get, hurt way less than my thigh did. Like
Really?
my
Yeah, like the one on my back and my shoulder didn't hurt at all.
Yeah, so with my thigh, like I could like at one point, like we just had to stop because my body just would not stop spasming
Oh my
because of the
gosh.
pain. Yeah, so like we had to fully stop and give me like 15 minutes to just kind of calm down and see if we couldn't get that adrenaline to come down and stuff. But yeah, the one on my thigh hurt so much worse, and it's so much less detail on it than what my shoulder is because like for my shoulder it's completely colored in black and everything. So
Mhm.
and the one in my thigh it's a heart with an infinity emblem and then has like the death date and stuff like that in it. So it's a little more smaller details, but for my back like they just had to shade it all in, so that was more time than what my thigh was.
That shaving is the
So
fun part.
That's
yeah.
crazy. Is
Try.
it where you wear like uh pants or shorts pretty often?
Yeah, normally it'll be covered like about probably about that much of it will be showing if I wear shorts, it just enough to poke out. But I made sure because of the career that I'm going into, which is
Mhm.
medical assisting, I wanted to make sure it was something that I could have covered so that way it wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah, that's smart. I wonder if that has something to do with it though, because I know like skin and body parts that aren't really exposed to the elements as
Yeah.
frequently as body parts that are a little bit more sensitive.
I used to wear shorter shorts than I do now, so that it was more exposed at that point. Um, so I don't know. And like I said,
It just
it
depends on the
varies.
person. We'll just
Yeah, it
leave it
varies
at
from
that.
person to person.
I don't
There,
recommend the spine.
no, yeah, that was
No
with
fun.
my shoulder one because like it comes close to my spine, but right there and then like where it comes close to under the armpit, those were the two sensitive
Yep.
spots where it was
Yep.
kind of like, this hurts.
Right at the corner of the muscle, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Oof.
yeah. That's where the wings go from the statue for me.
Hmm.
Beauty is pain,
Yes.
right?
But I do
Um,
have another one that I would love to get, but gotta wait on it.
how much time did each tattoo take?
Um, this one probably took the one on my shoulder probably took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, somewhere in there. The one on my thigh, just because of the pain that it was causing me, probably about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Got off
Oh,
easy, my friend.
um,
10 hours of sessions.
granted, granted, I
For
ugh.
did
me.
almost pass out on both of them, but it's okay. Because like they didn't think that it was gonna happen with my thigh one because never had a tattoo before, never like didn't know what my reaction was gonna be or anything like that. And then I had almost passed out. Thankfully, I do know my warning signs for when I'm going to pass out. So I was like, we need to stop, like stop.
Mhm.
And so I went and I recovered from that, and then we continued, and then I knew that it was going to happen. So with my shoulder one, I went ahead and warned my tattoo artist. I was like, hey, look, this is a potential that can happen. Just so you're aware, I do know my signs. That way I can let you know, hey, we need to take a break or anything like that. He goes, cool.
Yeah,
I've
usually they're
never
pretty good
fainted
about
before.
that.
I have no idea what the signs are.
The most common ones for fainting are usually, like, for me at least, my hearing starts to go and all I hear is like this very loud ringing. That's all I
Ringing, yeah.
hear. And then my vision, the way
Cute.
I describe it is black fireworks. Like you just see black spots everywhere.
It sounds
Um,
terrifying,
it's
honestly.
if you don't know what's going on, it is scary. Because I had it happen. When I was in high school, I was staying after school with my boyfriend at the time, and because he was in the JRTC program, and they were doing a staff meeting and stuff, and he was gonna take me home. So they were in the middle of the meeting, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna step out. Like I don't feel well." I stood up, and as soon as I stood up, I went back down. So it was definitely a scary incident, but I learned what my signs were. That way I could be like, okay, I can be prepared. I know what's happening. I know I need to get to the ground if I start having those symptoms.
That's crazy.
Man, oh man. Well, hopefully it never happens. We have a couple questions in the chat. I'm scrolling back up because I don't want to lose it. It was Madly. Oh, Madly wants to know, what is the tattoo that you want to get?
Where did my sketchbook go?
Ooh, a self-drawn tattoo?
We have an artist.
For the most part. Well, I guess I don't know if it'll show up very well. Oh, it does.
Oh my gosh,
Of
how cute.
course.
It's Stitch and Toothless. And on the top and bottom, it has "Stay different, stay weird."
I love
Um,
that.
that's kind of where my phrasing that we've had go out for the "Stay different, stay weird." What your uniqueness is what makes you you. That's kind of what I pulled that off of. Just because both of those characters in the movies are different than what you expect them to be. So they're seen kind of like as those outcasts. So definitely, I love the way both characters are played, and I love them.
I've been misunderstood.
The only reason I haven't gotten it is one, funds, and two, I don't know where I want it.
It's always the tough part, figure it out where you want it on your body.
Exactly.
Put it right on your forehead.
Right here.
God. Black lighting, gonna be invisible.
Yeah.
Marina has another question. What are some other things you like to do outside of gaming and cosplaying?
I do I read. I do write stories from time to time. I did have for a while on my channel to redeem for a reading of the story that I was writing at the time, which I need to get back to actually, because I got down to like I think 3 or 4 chapters of it. Um, but I do that, and then I do a thing what's called diamond art, which is still kind of fairly new. Like some people have heard of it and others haven't. Um, Basically what it is I actually have one sitting next to me. Um, there's these little gems. They look like diamonds, and you get this sticky canvas.
Oh, I have
Sitting on
heard
it.
of those. It's kind of like the paint pictures, like where there's numbers that
Yeah,
you paint.
the paint by
That's-
numbers. There's actually some with it already on there, but I've been working on that one. But that's something I do on my free time as well. Um, Other than that, I kind of just play video games even on my free time.
Great.
That is
There you go, bedazzle by number.
awesome. Bedazzled by numbers.
Leave it to M to come up with a phrase for it.
So I have a question for you. Before you stream, no matter how frequently you stream, do you have any like routines or rituals that you, I don't know, accumulated over the time before you stream? Like, is there something that you always do?
Not that I've noticed, maybe. But none that I've picked out. Like I'll make sure that well, I guess mostly my mouse and keyboard, like I've got to make sure that they're sitting in the right spot and the mic's sitting in the right spot and stuff like that. Granted, I do move it usually like 30 times during the stream, but usually like for the most part, they don't have to be sitting in like an exact spot, but I guess straightening that stuff out is my usual routine.
It's not a bad routine. Be prepared.
Yeah. Be like, okay, is this here, this here, this? Okay, we're good. And I always end
Madly
up
makes
forgetting
a
that one thing.
oh sorry. Madly makes a good point in the chat. She says you better drop that in the art channel.
I will once it's done.
Another fun fact as well, one of the days this week, we started putting the national like day calendars, like the day holidays in the
Yeah, I've
calendar,
seen that
and
one.
it's Black Cat Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
So that two birds with one stone.
Exactly. That, or I'll probably just end up taking a picture of my of Spotify because he is a black cat. So
Well, there you go.
just hold it up next to him and take a picture.
Submit it.
But yeah, no, I actually do that for not necessarily for my day job, but on Tuesdays whenever we have our it's called promo meetings, we go over our like what's ongoing on sale and stuff like that. I have been designated with telling the group of what is our national holiday of the day. So
That's awesome. That's something new that we just started. So this is the first week that we have it. It's really exciting.
So many new fun things coming out,
Big and small.
big and small.
um
The big ones
uh,
are my favorite though.
yeah. um Wolf, I will probably drop it if I ever finish it. Other than that, probably won't.
He does bring up a good point though. It's still through testing and we're still working out the kinks, but using the SF submissions for something like that, so you can get voted on and possibly win good experience and some exposure for it. You go
Both.
into the SF submissions page and you do hashtag submit to start your message, and then you put in your creation, and everybody votes on it. One with the most votes gets a little something something at the end of the week.
I don't know. We'll see, Wolf. I may put that in. I don't know. Like I said, I need to work on it again first because I may go back and redraft and fix things, and I need to find it to begin with. I
She's misplaced it. Oh no.
just need to figure out which laptop it's on.
So what exactly is it? What is your work that you do?
I work on a military base at the PX.
Oh, okay.
So I work retail. I just kind of help around. I was about 2 months ago. I was working the customer service desk and doing all those fun things like the returns and helping customers and all that. Now I do what is called operations. Basically, I go through the store and do markup, markdowns, and stuff like that. If something goes on sale, I make signage for it and all that.
Cool. So
So
all your crafty skills really pay off in that
yes,
position, it sounds like.
definitely.
That's awesome. Another question that we have for you is, do you have someone in the streaming world that inspires you?
um, Yes. So I have a couple people. One of the people that I watched that kind of is what got me into Dead by Daylight was his name is Puppers. He's a very big Dead by Daylight streamer, has a lot of fun with doing it and stuff like that. And then Captain Sparkles. He was one of the other ones that were kind of getting me into for like the wanting to do the YouTube thing and all of that. So I kind of look
That's
up to
awesome.
them and being like, oh, okay, I could do this and maybe get a little more attention this way and maybe
So
change this a little bit.
you refer to their content for advice for your own as well?
For some of it, yes. So like, I don't know if anybody in the stream or anything. With Captain Sparkles, he did a series called Mionite. We kind of loosely based off Eutheria off of that, the Minecraft modded server that me and Phoenix and Dragon were all doing. Um, Granted, we've had to put that on pause for a moment due to Phoenix's account getting hacked for it,
Oh,
but so we're
oh no,
waiting.
Phoenix.
Yeah, so his Minecraft account got hacked, so therefore we have to wait until he can change his name back to what he had it as. So we got to do all that, and then so that's what that was loosely based off of. So we kind of refer back to that of, okay, well they're kind of doing it their storyline like this. Maybe we can pick up some points from that, and maybe do something a little different, but figure something out. Other than that, than with the Dead by Daylight, I look at peppers and I'm like, oh, so that's kind of how you run like that loop, or maybe those are better perks that I should be running and stuff like that in order to make my gameplays a little better.
That's awesome. So what about besides streaming, just in real life in general? Do you have anyone who inspires you?
I mean, my mom and my dad inspire me mostly just because they've been there for me through thick and thin. I mean, I know parents are supposed to do that, but there are some people who are unfortunate to their parents aren't behind them as much as mine are. They didn't understand the whole me wanting to stream and put all this money into this stuff. Um, and as time's kind of gone on, like I'll explain it, and they were like, "Oh, well, I don't understand when people's gonna want to sit there and watch you play a game." And I'm like, "People sit there and watch other people play football, so like, kind of think it as along those lines. It's like
That's a good point.
it's like you're still watching somebody else do something. So yes, and I told him I was like, and the reason why is so that people can see maybe, oh, maybe I do want to play this game. It looks like fun. It looks like they're having fun. Maybe I'll have fun playing it. So it kind of helps people get that out. So having them behind me and supporting me through the streaming and through just daily life in general has been phenomenal.
That's so great. I'm so happy that you have that support at home.
Yeah.
That's huge factor for doing what we do. People behind us supporting us.
Yeah,
Not
that's, I
only
mean,
online, but also in real life. It keeps us pushing on, you know?
not to say that it's not possible without that, but it's just, it's so
It helps.
much. Yeah. So that's awesome. I don't remember who asked this, but someone would like to know, do you have a dream car?
A dream car.
Yeah.
My
Are you a
dream
car girl?
my dream car used to be a 1990 Ford Mustang. As of what it would be now, I don't know. Probably still that for right now. I really haven't looked at cars. I'm currently driving a 2019 Nissan Sentra, and I love it. It's a great car and everything. So
I have a Nissan
nice.
2019 Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, I was originally gonna get an Altima, but they didn't have anything in my price range. So then we got the car that I have now, and it had the lifetime guarantee for the powertrain warranty, and I could get everything was just where I needed it to be able to get a new car because I had a convertible previous to that one, and somebody had smashed my windshield in and had to get it replaced. And ever since the replacement, my car leaked so bad. So like it was raining, it wouldn't matter if it was a slight drizzle, if it was a downpour, my floorboards were soaked in
Oh
water.
no.
So yeah, so I needed a new car. That and then one day on my way to work, it just decided that it wasn't gonna drive anymore. So
Oh no.
Yeah.
you just,
I was
you
like,
just couldn't catch a break.
no, so I was just like, I just need a new car.
Well, Nissan's
Sometimes
a
you
good
just
pick.
reach that point where if you're not like that person that can just fix everything on your own, you're like, I'm done. I'm just starting from scratch.
Yep.
Totally been there. Ravel's probably like cringing.
No, he said something about some 5-cylinder engine or something about her dream car.
I saw that, but I didn't know how to read it. I just didn't give it much attention.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's speaking car language in there.
I understand it, but I can't speak it back. So speaking of dreams, you said that you were going into nursing field,
Medical assistant, yes.
medical assisting. So is that your dream career? And if
Um,
not, what would be like your dream job?
so my dream job was is currently to be an OBGYN. So that is like my end goal of what I want to do. Um, Currently what I'm going into, which is medical assistant, which is usually like most of like your family offices and stuff like that. When you go in, they're the ones who go back and take your vitals and stuff like that. Is kind of like a stepping stone into the realm of doing it. I just kind of wanted to get my feet in the water before, because to be an OB, it is 10 years of schooling. So
Wow.
before I committed to all that schooling and everything, I figured, well, let me get into the fields, let me get experience and stuff like that, because that's going to help me more in the long run than, oh, you just came out of school for 10 years. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, that's smart. Definitely seems like you thought this through and found the right
You
path
know
for
what you
yourself.
want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Not
figured
everyone
I'd do
feels
this
that
for,
confidence.
yeah, I figured I'd do this for a little while and then step it up into nursing and then register nurse and just kind of work my way up. That way I get all of the schooling that I need to get
While
and
also
still
getting field
working well in the
work.
process.
Yeah, there you go.
That
Smart,
is
smart.
one thing that I've always thought was pretty interesting about just the medical industry in general is there seems to be a couple different avenues each way you can take. I mean, there's some things where it's like you just can't avoid going to all that school, but there's some positions where it's like if you do this for a certain amount of time, you don't have to go through all this schooling
Mhm.
because it takes into account your experience in the field.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Madly wants to know why an Obi.
I did in high school. I did a project because my high school had like the breakdown of different career fields and stuff. Like we had carpentry, health, home, all of that kind of stuff, and I fell into the health. And one of the projects that we did was on what do you got to pick whatever you wanted to try to become, and you did research on it. I picked OB and I did the research on it, and a lot of the stuff I've always been fascinated with the human body and how like the reproductive system works and everything like that. So to be able to be like, oh, there's an actual field for this, to be able to be like, oh, I want to go into that. That's what drew me into that.
That's awesome. I mean, we need people in that field, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Keep heat.
Listen, I'm just along for the ride. You guys can keep going. Have fun.
We are slowly reaching that time limit. So just a reminder to the chat, if you have any questions for Val, tag support force and type question with your question. We have a couple more that the staff team has put together for you. What's your favorite snack?
Oh geez.
Everyone has their favorite snack.
Seeing as it's sitting right next to me, sunflower seeds.
Oh,
Sunflower seeds.
I love seeds. Love
Um,
seeds.
those are usually what I'm snacking on is the sunflower seeds. I mix between the barbecue flavor and cracked pepper. There's
Love
also
that
an
flavor.
Old Bay seasoned sunflower seed if you're interested in that one. It's really good.
What was it? Old.
Old Bay. So like the seasoning that they put on like seafood and stuff like that usually is Old
Oh,
Bay. They have sunflower seeds for that, and
are they
I
David's?
fell in love. I think they're
Girl.
figs.
Okay, I have to look for those.
Super good.
Who knew? So many different sunflower seeds.
Right?
They're just so they're such a pain in the butt to eat.
What can you do?
I mean, it's an absent mind thing. Like I'll just be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I can see that.
To be fair, it is a snack you can do on stream, but then again, it's not. So it's just like, if I'm snacking on stream, it's usually some kind of um, gummy candy.
So speaking of favorites, we had another from the staff team that we put together. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color. It's kind of shifted throughout time. The one that has been kind of stayed permanent is black. So like all of my furniture is black in my room. My walls were originally like a hot pink, which was my favorite color. But now
Like
I've
all
kind
of
of,
the walls.
yes,
Oh my
all of the
god.
walls.
I can't imagine that.
And now it's like this sky blue that's behind me now because I kind of got tired of looking at the pink and I was like, I'm done with it being this bright.
Hmm.
So now it's the blue, and I love the blue, and it looks so much better.
You don't have to
So
tell
that
me
blue
about blue.
behind you is the paint on the wall.
Yeah, so like back in between here and then on the other side of the over here is my actual wall color.
Okay.
I cheat. I use lights.
Well, I mean, like I've got like Christmas lights hanging around, like if I like I've got Christmas lights hanging up there. and that's kind of what I use as like my lights whenever I stream. Just because the light that I have in my actual room doesn't look that great, so
I do the
it
same thing.
actually made my walls
Feel it.
look. Aw.
I have lights there.
You can see all
Um,
my lights. I don't have to show you those.
I went and did but yeah, I did those, so I was like, all right, cool, lights. Hey, baby.
Awesome. So remember everybody, get your final questions in here. Valisa will take a few minutes here. You can tell us your schedule, where you stream, you know, what other content you make, other platforms, where to find you, everything.
Sure. So I stream on Twitch with my username being ValisaAthena01, as well as I do have an Instagram and Twitter. As I see it pass by over there on the in chat. Um, Usually, Twitter's going to be your best bet to see if anything for my streaming schedule does change, which is usually going to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 Central Time, I guess 9 Eastern. So that's usually where I'm at. I am still kind of working my way into the YouTube thing. I've made a channel, but nothing's been posted, so I'm not worried about that one.
Always get a head start.
I'll get there when I get there. I'd rather get something posted on it first before I advertise it. um, but yeah, so those are the places where you can find me. I do occasionally post on Instagram. Other than that, Twitch is going to be your best bet on finding me.
So one final question, I'm guessing. What is your favorite D&D villain or general bad guy?
I haven't done anything that is based off of the books, so I don't have a D&D villain slash bad guy. I've only ever done homebrews, and I haven't gotten to the big bad guy yet in our current campaign, nor did we my first campaign fell through, so we never got to the big bad guy there either.
Well, if you
One
ever
day.
if you ever do want to do a good campaign, that is a part of a book, I did Curse of Strahd,
Mhm.
and that was my first full campaign that we did,
Okay.
where I was my wizard, and it was quite fun. And the story itself, the book, it's the newest story pretty much,
Mhm.
so it's obviously got a lot of work into it, but I definitely enjoyed it. So if you were ever looking to a from a book, I highly recommend Curse.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's
We're
really all we had.
we're gonna
Uh,
let you get out of here and get your stream set up. We have a couple announcements to go over with everyone before we head over your way. So everyone say bye to Val.
Hi guys, I'll
We
probably
loved
be
having
streaming
you.
some Dead by Daylight, so
awesome.
it'll be fun.
We'll be seeing you shortly.
All right.
Thanks for coming out and a good podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having
It
me,
was an
guys.
Of
awesome
course.
podcast.
See you
In
soon.
chat, don't go anywhere. We've got some announcements for you guys before we head over to Val's stream.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Just a couple things to go over with everyone. I'll start off with the sad news, so that way it's piled over with a bunch of really good news. But Clutch is going away. Clutch is going away in 2 days. The whole platform gone, kaput. RIP Clutch. We are going to
Love
give
you.
our members until the 17th of this month to get the boost in for any support that you've shown the members that have that platform. So go get those boosts in, because after the 17th, we are removing the emotes, we're removing the boosts, and we're removing the clutch role from the server completely. It's going to be completely gone. So get those boosts in. Rip Clutch. RIP Clutch. So many RIP Clutch in the chat.
So to kind of piggyback
Um,
off of that, also in a few days here, 3 more days we have left, on our no loss of experience. So I don't know if there's some new people in here that may not have been around before we had no loss of experience, but on a normal day, um, your inactivity between messages will lose you experience in the server. We have been doing no loss of XP for our birthday month, but now it is past our birthday month, so we are removing the no loss, and you will again lose
3 more days.
experience. 3 more days, people.
3 more days, so get those levels in.
Yeah. And also to go with that, we are going to be dropping the double chatting XP, where it'll just go down to regular normal XP gained from every chat, instead of being times.
And
Now
I
for
just want to add to that, it was just an incredible first year. We did that no loss of experience and double experience for all chatting in the server because it was our birthday month. It was our 1-year anniversary in the month of July. And we had an incredible first year. So this is just a reminder that that is coming to an end and it's going back to normal, which is for inactivity, you lose experience, and the chatting experience is going to be cut in half, which is back to normal.
Now for some good news.
Um, Everyone that's been hanging out in the podcast, don't forget to go to the Boost channel, do hashtag podcast, add Augustus and the Twitch emote, and we will go in there and check mark everyone that's been hanging out with us. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you supporting Valisa, who is our featured creator. Here's all of her links. Make sure that you're showing her all the support, and all the support for our feature creator and all the support for Augustus, which is Subforce, is a 25% additional experience. So get those boosts in.
Yep. So we have a couple more things here. Reminder to everybody, please make sure that if you are collabing this month, for the month of August, we are doing our Splash Bash collab. So make sure that you are putting in the Splash Bash emote. You get extra experience for it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Extra experience.
And if you're cross
Even more.
boosting, you get another percentage. Plus, if you're if you're collabing with our featured creator, you get even more. Like, you can dump 5 times experience on their own. Not 5 times, but you
Okay,
can get a
so
whole mess of experience.
the collab boost with the Splash Bash emote is 5 times the amount of experience as regular collab.
Yep.
I'll clear that up for I'll help keep you out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was losing my words there.
In addition to that, all of our experience boosts stack on top of each other. So if you are supporting and collabing right now during our collab event for the feature creator, for cross-platform, for the Subforce account, all of that extra experience stacks on top of each other. So now is time to go out there and support and collab and boost it. We know that you're all out there supporting each other, but you got to remember to boost it. It's worth it. It's worth the time.
And then
So
we have
collab with Valisa would now be, it would
6
be
times.
5 times plus an additional 25%.
Plus, if I did it because I'm not on Twitch, it would be another 25%.
Right. And
Plus
if you
another
are not on the
25%.
same, it just keeps going.
We're just giving away XP at this point, people. You get XP, you get XP, you get XP. We'll be the Oprah of Subforce.
All right, we're gonna be swapping over here to
One more thing.
Valisa's stream. Oh, I'm sorry.
Forgot one more thing. One more thing. So we mentioned it a little bit earlier about the submission, but we're working through a couple of bugs right now. They may not all be 100% working at the moment, but keep out for announcements. But we are still doing our submission of the week and clip of the week events. You have until from Monday to Sunday to post new content and use the hashtag in the beginning of the chat, in the beginning of the message.
Hashtag submit. Hashtag clip.
And that will get
Hashtag
you entered
submit.
into the challenge, and then whoever gets the most reactions, the most thumbs up reactions on their post, will win a little something at the end of the week.
Win a lot of something.
A lot of something. All right, everybody, we are gonna go ahead and go into our exit screen here, and we're gonna get ready to raid Valisa. So please stick around. Make sure that we show her all of the love that she's been showing all of us in her time here. And thank you all for coming. We love you all. See you next week. That was great.
Great.
Yeah, that was probably one of the the most fun I've had in the podcast.
I feel like we say that every single week.
Because they're all fun.
I know. They just get better and better.
She was great though. She was phenomenal.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. We did
Very
something.
confident. She's so talented. She does so many different things. I had no idea that she was an artist too. And a writer.
Yeah, I've been following her since she first came out. Her girls. But I definitely appreciate
Oh, for sure.
Good job, Taurus.
You too.
Always.
I think we're just getting, maybe the reason why we're having more fun is because we're getting better. Like,
I didn't
We're
get
such
home until,
noobs.
I didn't get home until 5 minutes before the podcast. Still got it. Still be heard.
yeah. Why are you always telling us? You're always the one telling us.
Still did a great job. 5 minutes.
Yep, well, we're just waiting for her to go live.
Yeah, he said that she's live, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
Thank you everybody for coming out. We love you all.